Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 214. Got a little upper body day here for you today. I guess you could say it was kind of a full body day, but the main emphasis was upper body. The main thing I'm focusing on with upper body is just building strength in pull-ups and dips. Or I guess you could say pulling and pushing. But yeah, they're the main movements that will carry over quite nicely into calisthenics movements. Dips also have a lot of carryover for athletic movements like sprinting and jumping because of the range of motion at the shoulder being slightly more than you'd get in something like a bench press or a push-up. Unless you're doing extended range of motion weighted push-up, which is something I do have the facility to do here as well, which I'm going to be doing in the future. But yeah, when it comes to calisthenics, weighted push-ups and weighted dips are the primary strength movements. If you get good at those, it's kind of like squatting and deadlifting for your upper body, I guess you could say. Like, you could sort of liken a pull-up to the deadlift for the upper body, and then a dip is kind of like the squat for the upper body as well. Yeah, the analogy does kind of work quite well actually, because a deadlift is in theory a pull and you use pulling muscles, and obviously a pull-up is a pull. And then a squat, when you sort of go down, you have to lower yourself first, like you do in a dip. You lower yourself down and then you have to push out of the hole. So yeah, squats are kind of like dips, and pull-ups are kind of like deadlifts, at least as far as that analogy goes anyway. Worked up pretty heavily to do sets of 5 today. Heaviest set of 5 I worked up to on the pull-ups was 36 kilos. Last rep wasn't quite there, I had to sort of like grind out a little bit, but still managed to get my chin above the bar. Felt quite strong. The only issue with this bar is it's quite slippery. For those of you that watched the video yesterday, you'll know that I was struggling to get muscle ups on this bar. I'm not going to blame the bar, of course. You know, I've still got a few muscle ups, but compared to the bar at home, where I've wrapped it with athletic tape and I've chalked my hands up, I was able to, get a lot better grip, better purchase on the bar, so I was able to, have a lot higher quality form muscle ups. And, I don't want to be that douchebag that brings in chalk to the gym and then like gets chalk all over the bar. These bars are black. They've got that kind of like rubbery coating. I don't want to be that guy that, chalks up all the equipment. So I'm just going to have to tolerate, with the working on the equipment they have here. But on the bright side, they do have a lot of neutral grip bars here. So you can see these monkey bars sort of running across the top of this. I guess you can call it like a climbing frame, a power rack, functional area, whatever you want to call it. They've got those, so that is a good facility that I can use to do neutral grip pull-ups as well. With regards to the dips, I did also sets of 5, heavy sets of 5. I also did accidentally one set of 6 for some reason. I think I miscounted, and I believe it was this one. I think it's the next set. I thought I did 5 reps, miscounted. I think it was the second or third rep. I was like, yeah, this is the third rep. But in actual fact, it was the 4th rep, and ended up doing 6 reps. But hey, that's good. Got an extra rep in, a little bit of extra volume. This dip setup here, the bars kind of like spread out a little bit, so they come apart from where they're attached to the rack here. So as they spread out, it means you're going to get more sort of opening through the chest and the shoulders. And I really, really felt this after the workout. When you feel a muscle that's been like very, very worked in a different way than it has before, it's going to be sore the next day. I know my anterior deltoid, like the front of my shoulder, is going to be absolutely screaming at me tomorrow. I'm going to have some pretty serious DOMs there mainly because I haven't done dips in a while, straight bar dips, straight dips as opposed to ring dips. Yeah, overall it's a good setup. I'm not going to complain, to be honest with you. Ideally, I like to have done this facing forwards. I like to face in towards the rack so that the bars converge towards the rack, and I'm sort of having my hands, my index finger pointing in slightly rather than pointing out slightly. But beggars can't be choosers. If I did it the other way, I was going to hit my head on the front side of the rack. But that was that. So top set of 38 kilos for 5 reps. Pretty darn good for dips for me. Not much heavier than my pull-ups, which is kind of strange. I know you should be dipping a lot more than you can pull up, but it is what it is. All right, and then the last thing in the workout, which kind of made this into a full body workout, was a little bit of work capacity / conditioning work. Just set a 10-minute timer. Just went for continuous, without resting, doing sled push back and forth, and then back and forth with a farmer carry, unilateral, both waiter, so like overhead carry, and then just a regular farmer carry or suitcase carry, whatever you want to call it. Main reason for this, again, is to build work capacity, general conditioning, just in the intermediary period before I start the next program, which I have pretty much written for the next 6 weeks, and just also in the process of writing the next part of that program for the 6 weeks continuing after that. All right, guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I will catch you in the next one.